Have you ever had someone believe in you when it felt like the entire world had turned its back? A person who saw a spark in you that you couldn't even see in yourself. Today, I want to share a story about a young boy named Leo and a teacher who changed the course of his life forever. Leo wasn't what you'd call a model student. In fact, he was the opposite. He was quiet, withdrawn, and his grades were a constant source of disappointment for his parents and teachers. He'd sit at the back of the classroom, hood pulled over his head, doodling in his notebooks instead of taking notes. To most, he was a lost cause, a kid who just didn't care. His report cards were filled with comments like lacks focus, daydreams constantly, and fails to apply himself. By the time he reached middle school, everyone had pretty much given up on him. Everyone, that is, except for Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison was the new art teacher. He had a kind smile that reached his eyes, and a calm presence that made even the most disruptive kids settle down. Unlike other teachers who saw Leo's doodling as a distraction, Mr. Harrison saw something else. He saw potential. One afternoon, as the final bell rang and students scrambled out of the classroom, Mr. Harrison walked over to Leo's desk. Leo quickly tried to hide his notebook, expecting another lecture, but Mr. Harrison didn't scold him. Instead, he gently asked, "May I see?" Hesitantly, Leo slid the notebook across the desk. It was filled with incredible drawings, detailed sketches of fantastical creatures, sprawling cityscapes, and expressive portraits. They were raw, unrefined, but bursting with imagination and talent. Mr. Harrison was speechless. He looked at Leo, not with disappointment, but with genuine awe. "Leo," he said, his voice soft, "this is extraordinary. You have a gift." For the first time in a long time, someone saw past the failing grades and the quiet exterior. Someone saw him. That single moment of validation was like a switch being flipped inside Leo's mind. It was the first drop of rain in a desert. Mr. Harrison started staying after school with Leo, not to make him do his math homework, but to teach him about shading, perspective, and color theory. He brought in books by famous artists and showed Leo how they had channeled their own unique visions onto the canvas. He didn't just teach Leo how to draw. He taught him how to see the world as an artist. He gave him the tools to express the vibrant, complex world that had been trapped inside his head for so long. The change in Leo wasn't instantaneous, but it was profound. He started participating more in art class, his confidence slowly blooming. He found a way to communicate that didn't require words. His art became his voice. While his grades in other subjects were still a struggle, he now had a reason to come to school. He had a purpose. Art class was his sanctuary, and Mr. Harrison was his guide. Of course, not everyone understood. Other teachers would still complain. "His head is always in the clouds," one would say. "If only he'd put that much effort into his history essays," another would sigh. They saw his art as the problem, not the solution. They couldn't see that for Leo, art wasn't a distraction from his education. It was his education. It was the key that was unlocking his potential. Mr. Harrison became Leo's advocate. In parent-teacher conferences, he would proudly display Leo's artwork. He argued that nurturing a student's passion was just as important as drilling them on multiplication tables. "We need to build on his strengths, not just focus on his weaknesses," he insisted. "This is where he shines. Let's give him a chance to be brilliant." Slowly, very slowly, the school started to see what Mr. Harrison saw. He convinced the principal to let Leo paint a mural in the school library. It was a massive undertaking, and Leo poured his heart and soul into it. For weeks, he spent every spare moment on that mural, sketching, planning, and finally, painting. The library transformed. What was once a wall of beige became a breathtaking scene of a forest filled with mythical creatures, reading books under a starry sky. Students and teachers would stop and stare. They saw the detail, the passion, the sheer talent on display. For the first time, they weren't looking at Leo, the failing student. They were looking at Leo, the artist. The mural did more than just decorate a wall. It changed the perception people had of him. It gave him an identity rooted in strength, not failure. Years passed. Leo graduated high school and, with a portfolio nurtured and curated by Mr. Harrison, he was accepted into a prestigious art college on a full scholarship. It was a dream he never would have dared to have if not for that one teacher who took the time to look inside his hidden notebook. Today, Leo is a successful graphic novelist. His books are celebrated for their stunning visuals and imaginative storytelling. He's traveled the world, spoken at conventions, and inspired countless young artists. But he never forgot the man who first believed in him. Every time he starts a new project, he thinks of Mr. Harrison's kind eyes and encouraging words. You have a gift. That simple affirmation was the foundation upon which he built his entire life. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes all it takes is one person to see the masterpiece hidden within the rough stone. One person to offer a hand and say, I see you, and I believe in you. This story isn't just about art. It's about the profound impact a teacher, a mentor, or even a friend can have on our lives. It's about seeing beyond the labels and the expectations to recognize the unique spark in every individual. Mr. Harrison didn't just teach Leo how to draw. He gave him permission to be himself. He showed him that his unique way of seeing the world wasn't a flaw, but his greatest strength. And that is a lesson more valuable than anything you can find in a textbook. Has there ever been a Mr. Harrison in your life? Someone who believed in you when nobody else did? Or maybe you've been in Leo's shoes, feeling misunderstood until that one person came along. Share your story in the comments below. I would genuinely love to read them. These stories are so important. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to Beyond the Classroom and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thank you so much for watching.